fun.
You were innovators, obviously. I mean, you still are, but so many people now are crediting you with the whole,
Well,
you know...
they should, you know.
You do like to take all the credit for what's happening in
Yeah,
music
well, we
these
deserve
days.
it, you know.
Well,
But it wasn't...
Credit what credit's due, you know.
It probably wasn't until you went over to Europe that things really started to happen. I mean, like, what was happening here, or let's say in North America for you at the time? Were you just like people looking at you like you were nuts or something?
Nothing was happening anywhere, you know. It was like we were the only people doing what we were doing. Nobody else was doing what we were playing. And when we went to England, they were listening to pub rock, Dr. Feelgood and stuff like that. And it wasn't until after we left, you know, we played 2 sold-out shows. And I guess the more hipper people, like the people that now are in the Clash and people like that, you know, they had gotten our import album and they were in tune to what we were doing. And after we left, the whole British invasion kicked off. The whole, the Clash, the Pistols, the Jam,
the Damned.
You know, Damned, right?
So you feel responsible for that?
Well, out of the new thing, yeah.
The new generation,
I mean,
the new revolution or something.
We were the first of the new things, but I mean, they started calling it whatever, punk rock and all, but...
We could always come here very early in our career and play, though.
Toronto's one of the first places that we came to, outside New York, you know.
Local scene, you know, like
Right.
original groups. There's always something happening.
A lot of energy here.
We've probably been here about 8 times, and places like upstate New York we went into twice.
You find you get wider acceptance than in a place like Toronto than maybe some other places in the States?
In the beginning, yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's a good city. It's a good city.
It took a little longer in America because America's so huge, you know, and it's different, you know.
They weren't looking for anything new, really, in America.
Yeah, they were
you know,
very content.
Well, how did you manage to emerge out of that void? Where did you get your inspiration from?
everything was getting soft. There was no more pop-type music. There was a pop scene in England still in the early 70s with Slade and Gary Glitter and things like that, but America wasn't having that stuff. And so just started doing what we do.
You were ahead of your time at the time, don't you think?
Yeah, that's why I guess it's taken so long, and now you're finally getting acceptance.
And
and
it's like 6 years later, and now the world's kind of caught up to us.
You know,
Exactly.
you always had critical acceptance because you know, critics look for new things and not really stuck on the same thing. But you know, to get the general acceptance,
Yeah.
it's been hard.
And it seems that now groups, it's like, you know, they've been out for like a year and they're like making millions of bucks.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So do you resent that?
Well, it's good, and you know, it sort of bothers you when you see somebody have it so easy, but it's good for you because if somebody else succeeds, that just makes it seem more acceptable to everyone. You know, like when somebody like the Knack has a hit and they're considered new wave, and the Cars and Blondie, it just makes it bigger market, I guess. More people are interested.
And then people are also like curious about where it all originated from, and then, you know, we're focused upon, you know, but you know, like it bugs you, but you just gotta, you know,
it shows the radio that that there's an audience for this stuff out there. I mean, if they didn't have this acceptance, those groups, they would make it just that much harder for you. So it's you know, it's okay.
well, it's like taking over the world now, and also it's we turned the airwaves around, you know, whereas now the new music is heavily dominating the radio, as where before it was heavily dominated by heavy metal and disco, like, you know, Foreign and Toto, people like that, you know. And now those people, they're all shaken up because they don't know which way to turn. Like last year they could have gone disco, but this year they don't know what to do, you know. So it's good. Get rid of them too.
Last summer you performed at a heavy metal concert here in town, the Canadian World Music Festival, and you didn't get that great a response. I understand the audience gave you a bit of a hard time.
Yeah, well, we shouldn't have been playing really with Aerosmith and Ted Nugent. I mean, we think those groups are good. I mean, you know, for what they do.
Yeah, they were watching us, and they even said, "Oh, sorry that this happened."
Yeah, Steve Tyler came back.
This wasn't the right billing. I mean, it's, you know, I mean, those are the best groups doing what they do. I mean, you know, Aerosmith and Ted Nugent. But this isn't right.
The audience was a little rude.
Yeah, I remember. I was there, I
We
admit.
expected it. I mean, and we said when they told us to play, and we said, oh, you know, it's going to be crazy. And they said, no, don't worry. Canada would be different, you know, and they said, no, you know, kids are the same.
But they should have had as a hook, you know, and give us each the hook and get us off the stage.
Oh, no. Well, you left
That's
after
what you gotta
about
do.
a couple of songs anyway.
No,
You only did, what, four songs or something?
We did 40 minutes.
No,
Was
we
it?
left early. Didn't we leave
Yeah, not
early?
until
My guitar
Crete.
stopped working.
I made a mistake in Crete and I went crazy. And you, know, and you just took off your guitar and said, forget it.
It was...
How
When they
did you
start
feel?
doing that to you, that really makes you nervous. Then everything
Really?
starts falling apart, you know.
How did you feel when you walked off the stage? Like,
I
you
was
don't care?
I was optimistic pretty much until the bottles started coming, you know, and then I was like ducking them. But you know.
What do your families think of all this now? I mean, what do they think of the whole...
They're disgraced.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my mom had to leave town.
Ever since they heard about punk rock.
Pack up and leave town.
Were they supportive of you when you first started in the early days?
Well, when you first start playing the guitar, no, they're never supportive, you know. They said, you know, you don't know how to play a song, you know, it's a bunch of noise. But then once they see you starting to succeed and having fans and albums, then they're right behind you.
What kind of...
Fair weather friends.
What
Yeah,
kind of...
they check the record stores to make sure that your album's there, and if it's not, they give the guy a hard time and all that.
I'm never gonna
They buy
forgive
the
my
album for
parents.
presents for people, you know.
Right.
Why?
I'm
It's
sure
a
it's...
good stab in the back.
Oh, really?
Because I know all parents really hate rock. I mean, like my parents are old people, so maybe some parents don't.
How do you think your music's developed over the years, and where do you see it going in the next little while?
It's hard to tell. I mean, each album you try to make it a little different. And you
We're
don't
doing well here, though, now. Our album, it's getting played on all the top stations,
Right.
Chum and all.
you know,
It's great.
you just try to make each album different so that your fans don't grow tired and that you don't get tired of it. And, you know, you always try out new ideas.
Is there ever the danger of losing that raw edge, maybe? You know?
Not for us.
Nah.
I don't think so.
I doubt
It's
it.
just our chemistry, you know. It's we're not like other people.
The new music will be right back after these messages with ZZ Top.